We're here for our weekly press conference with head coach John Cooper. Coach, after watching the film, what are some of the lessons the team learned from the tournament over the weekend? And what will the main focuses of practice be once you return to work?
Well, one, we've got to do a better job of rebounding the basketball. I think particularly when you take a look at the Northern Kentucky game, they did a good job of not letting us get easy buckets. And we've got to find a way to be able to rebound the basketball and get transition and create some easy scoring opportunities for our team. And we've got to continue to get better in our man-to-man defense. And communicate better. We still got to throw the ball inside to Darius, and then we've got to be able to, knock down shots when we have the opportunity, but also continue to probe the defense and take good shots.
Michael Weathers had a weekend to remember. Have you ever coached a freshman who has made such a quick impact? And what does he still need to work on to get better?
It's funny. I don't even know what he averaged over the weekend. But let's face it, he's got ability. He really does. And he looks like he's about 10 years old out there when he's playing. But with some of the numbers that he's put up, there aren't a lot of freshmen, that have put up those kind of numbers. There aren't a lot of coaches that have coached kids putting up those kind of numbers as a freshman. Obviously, the big guys, Dukes, North Carolinas, Kansas, those kind of places, it's a little bit different. But he's still got to get, he's got to be much more disciplined, even on the offensive end and certainly on the defensive end. He certainly, has a lot of breakdowns defensively, as do all freshmen. So, but he plays a lot of minutes, and so we've got to continue to get him locked in on the defensive end and be solid. Offensively, and I think, he feels he can get by his man a lot most times, and he won't get by him all the time, but he's also, got to continue to grow in that area and understanding, picking his spots in games and making sure that offense is moving and making sure that everyone's involved, because all that's going to do is make the game easier for him. But, I like the fact that he's got, the heart of a lion, and he doesn't back down. And, that's not usual from a freshman. Typically you can see some hesitancy and whatever, but, he keeps playing, and it means something to him. He does not like to lose, and it affects him. But, he's got to mature and he's got to grow.
All 4 games last week were close. How important was it to get that late game situational work this early in the season?
Oh, extremely. I'm not in the best of a mood because we've lost so many close games. I know you have a young team, I know, and all that, but that's not an excuse. You still got to find a way to win those games, and certainly we put ourselves in position in all the games. But we've had some breakdowns, whether it was a bad shot here and there. I thought, at Wright State, we got some looks, but we weren't able to finish them. And then, if you look at the Delaware game, we just weren't focused, early, and it caught up with us. And so now when you have to work and come from behind like we did, but yet and still we're right there, and then, we make a few mistakes. We call the timeout when we don't have timeouts, and it's the one thing we preached on the bench. And not to blame anyone, but those are the kind of things that you've got to get corrected. Those are the things that you have to learn from that can't happen, and that's how you grow.
And finally, the team gets to rest a little bit before getting back to work on Saturday when they host Western Illinois. What can we expect from the Fighting Leathernecks?
Well, quite frankly, I haven't really had a chance to really get down and look at them a lot yet, simply because of the tournament coming off. I'm going to do a lot of work here today on them. But, you're going to see a team that's going to come in. They're going to compete. They're going to fight hard. I know that. Their coach is from right up the road in Richmond, Indiana, so he's going to be coming back home. So he's going to have a lot of family and friends here at the game. You're talking about, in our case, a team that's got to now overcome a tough loss down the stretch when you have a young group that has to understand how you have to come back in practice this week and practice even harder and learn from your mistakes and get better. And so if we don't do that, we're going to find ourselves in a lot of close games, which are going to have those anyway. And that makes it hard. We've got to learn to come out and execute early and be our attention to detail has to be great from the very, very beginning of the game and not think that you can overcome breakdowns. And, I think we'll be fine. We've got to make some shots. We do. We missed a lot of open shots. We really have. And, we've had people taking those shots that we typically make them. We need Rod Mills to be better for us. And I think that'll certainly help. And then, Jake, just to get Jake just to calm down. I think Jake wants to help so bad that at times he's rushing. He just needs to slow down and let the game come to him, and he'll be fine.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.